Hey, shalom, Lord and Christ.
Shalom to Lord and Christ.
All right, so this is the Wednesday law class with Captain Mashak Mayam. I'm just filling in for him real quick. So now we're gonna go over a few things: Hamas versus Israel, America versus Russia, some
right.
earthquakes which has been going on, how we're on the brink of World War III, and what we should be doing. Now is the time for. Hold on, someone get me Matthew 24:1. Let's start there.
Canada on cancer.
Matthew 24:1, sir.
Go ahead.
And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the building of the temple.
Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things?
So Yahushua is showing his disciples all these things. Go ahead. He's showing them the buildings and so forth. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another.
And he's letting them know, look, soon there's not going to be left on this temple one stone upon another. And if you know history, they sacked and destroyed the temple. They destroyed that temple which was in Jerusalem, man. They destroyed it. And then after they destroyed it, what they did was they allowed the Israelites to come into Jerusalem for the Passover. So this is around the time of 70 AD. They allowed them to come into Jerusalem for the Passover. And then once they came in, what did the Romans do? Block them in the city. And then that's how they got to killing them in the houses and starving them to death. So they let them come into the city and started to kill them. Now, there was some that listened to Christ and they fled into the mountains and various parts of Africa. And then that's how we ended up in West Africa. And then there was some who was displaced living in the Roman armies in Rome and all of them places. And then those is the ones that would have came through Europe in those places. So at this place, we was already scattered throughout the world. So now they've come to Christ and Christ is saying, look, you see this? Soon one stone's not going to be left upon another. And then what happened is the Romans, they destroyed the temple and they used the gold from the temple to fund their Colosseums and stuff. So you see all these arenas that you see, the arenas in Rome and Greece and all of them places, they used the precious stones and the gold from the temple to fund it. So they would have sold you menorah and used it to fund the work that they needed on the Colosseums. And also also the slaves that was in them regions, they built them Colosseums also. So they would use your gold and use your people to build it. Slaki, go ahead.
Quran Khan, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives.
And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. And Christ is breaking it down to his men. Go ahead.
The disciples came unto him privately, saying...
And they came unto him privately, so when everybody else is gone, they came unto him privately to ask him questions in private. Go ahead.
Quran Khan, saying, tell us, when shall these things be?
And now they said, well, tell us when are these things going to happen. So now, because these are his men, Christ lets them know what's going on. Because he goes, you ain't servants, I'll call you friends. So he's telling his friends, his brothers, what's going on. He's letting them know when these things are going to be, when these things are going to take place. So they came to him privately, like on a one-away. Go ahead.
Quran Khan, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? And the end.
What's going to be the sign of your coming? Because why? Christ has always taught them that I must go and I'm going to come back. And they're saying, well, what's the signs of you coming? They're saying that they understand that he's got to go, but they're saying, what is the signs of you coming back? So they want to know what's going to take place before he comes back. What's the signs? What's going to happen? And he's going to let them know the signs of what's going to happen. Go ahead.
Quran Khan, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
And it's to take heed that no man deceive you. Why? Because now is the time when everybody's being deceived. The pastors is deceiving everybody. They're telling you that there's going to be some rapture and all of these kind of things. When rapture is something sexual, man. They're making out you're going to be raptured. There's a song called something raptured in love or something along them lines. Listen, don't be deceived, man. They make you believe that all you have to do is say you believe in Jesus and you're going to be saved. They teach you all of those kind of things. They teach you come to church every Sunday and give all your money. They deceive you, man. They make you believe as long as you call on the name of Jesus, you're going to be saved. Listen, man, I seen a man getting arrested, man, and he was screaming Jesus a million times, man. Whereas if he was living according to how God wants him to live, he wouldn't be in that situation that he's in, man. The Christian church dumbs us down and makes us stupid and makes us very simple. And he said, let no man deceive you. Why? Because tons of people are going to be deceived. And imagine Christ is saying this to men who's in the truth. Let no man deceive you, which means they're going to be trying to deceive people that's in the truth, man. Going to be trying to give you all kind of literature that don't make no sense. Right. Going to be trying to tell you the Bible's not authentic. Going to be trying to tell you believe in the book of Barnabas and all of that garbage, and believe in the apocalypse of Paul and all of that garbage. They're going to deceive you, man. They're going to have you reading all of these books lying about the dates which there was found and all of those things. He said, let no man deceive you. Go ahead.
Qadwan Khan. For many shall come in my name.
For many what?
For many shall come in my name.
Many people come in Christ's name saying they've got the way, saying they're in the truth. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just hold on, give me 1 second. Hey, Shalom, ISUPK.
Shalom. Most in Christ.
So now, many will come in Christ's name. Many will come in Christ's name. Go ahead.
Qadwan Khan. Saying, I am the Christ.
Saying, I am the Christ. And that's what they do, man. They come and lie to you. And listen, you know what should happen right now? Every single Muslim man should go to Hamas and fight, man. Don't be doing these little protests in England, the protesting outside the embassy. Don't do that, man. Go. They should go to the Middle East and go fight for Islam, man. Don't be a cheerleader on the side, go waving your Palestinian flag. You should go and fight for Hamas, man. Stand on what you believe in, and you go and fight for it, man. All these Jewish people, all the Jewish people in England, don't go to the embassy, man. You go to Israel and fight for what you believe in, man. If that's what you really believe in, you go and fight for it, man. Because us in the ISUPK, we fight for what we believe. Why do you think we at camp every week, man? Now, we don't need to fight physically. Why? Because the Lord said wait upon him. Now, you Jews and Muslims, you take fighting into your own hands, so you should go to them lands and don't be a cheerleader waving a flag. You actually go and fight for what you believe, man.
Yeah, so what's a lot about that too? I should have probably texted. That's what it was. I think I get caught in mid-conversation. I was trying to tell you, go ahead. I'm on the way already. Yeah, no, Mr. Lucky about that too. Cover that down the bar, man. Yeah, on that. You have a shabbat to throw, Mark.
Yeah,
they go. Hakayan, Quatiza, Banyamian. All right, we're going to get it in, all right? And Dumgoba was absolutely right. Let me see. Something I was just going to ask you about. Something I was just going to... pull up for me just I think it's Daily Mail, how the park, some parking lot in Heathrow, I think, was on fire. It's in Luton. That's close to you, right?
Can't, sir.
Jeez, and ages. Well, listen, they ain't call you to out the fire.
No, sir.
Now they're gonna want to use black people, man.
Can't, sir.
Or Luton Airport. You can use just that picture at the top. You can go to the images. Yeah, and zoom in on the thing if you could, if it's possible to zoom in. If not, just show that big one. Big fire in Luton. Did they say what caused it? Anybody know, Haka? And somebody you could pull the article and just read a little bit for me. All right?
Qadwan Khan.
Did you share it? Yeah. It's already shared? Nah, yeah, share it so everybody could see that.
Luton Airport, sir.
Right, massive car fire, hundreds of Luton Airport. That's correct. Now wait. Yeah, just hit wait.
You want me to read the other one?
Yeah, that's it. Computer moving out a little bit slow. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, it's for sure showing. It's gonna come up in a second. No, you know what? Nah. All right, we're good there now. Just moving a little slow. All right. So who have the article so far?
Can't, sir.
One of y'all look it up real quick. Who have it?
Flights at Luton Airport. I have it, sir. I got it.
If not done, go ahead, please, Akayan.
All right, can't, sir. Flights at Luton Airport have resumed after a huge fire ripped through a terminal car park on Tuesday evening. A blaze caused the building to suffer a significant structural collapse. Bedfordshire Fire and Rescue Service believed the cause was accidental. The fire started about 8:45 BST and no serious injuries were reported. Tens of thousands of passengers are believed to have been affected by the flight delays. The first commercial flights resumed just after 3 BST. 4 firefighters and a member of an airport staff were treated for the effect of breathing in smoke as they battled the huge blaze. It broke out on level 3 of Terminal 2 car park and was thought to have started in a diesel car and spread rapidly.
They say what caused it? Hakayan.
Yeah, can't, sir.
Did you hear me? Might be a delay.
Can't.
Go ahead.
Can't, sir. Yeah, they said it was some diesel Salaki. I was just reading it there.
Yeah. What caused it?
I was just getting to it, and you just asked me. I was just getting to it.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Sir, it's a diesel car that started it. A diesel car, a diesel powered car that was on fire, and it spread through the car park.
Your English people on your diesel cars, man. That's why they had that clean energy, the clean energy tax. They didn't want no more diesel. Well, okay, I don't understand. Diesel ain't that flammable, though, right? Not naturally. Diesel had to be compressed to explode. From what I understand, you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Sir. I would have thought.
Is diesel naturally flammable like that?
Yes, but I would have, sir, but I would have thought that petrol would be more flammable.
That's what I'm saying. I think diesel is not something you could just light like that and it go. I think even in the car engine, it had to be under a certain amount of pressure before it get to that point. I ain't no mechanic. I ain't all the way sure, but I ain't never seen nobody light a fire, go into light a fire and say, let me get some diesel. You know what I mean? So, but I found that airport fire a little bit suspicious. Just on the back of this Palestine, Hamas, Israel issue. And it could well be that it comes from that feud, but they're not saying it because they don't want now to have a ton of copycats. They don't want to now inspire the locals. You know what I mean? Go ahead. You all hearing me or la?
Sir. So according to
right, go ahead.
It says if you toss a lit match into a puddle of diesel fuel, it will go out. That's because diesel is much less flammable than gasoline. So
that's what I thought.
You're right about that, sir.
Diesel is not something that just catches on fire like that. I think diesel don't even have like a flashpoint like with petrol. The fumes is what catches on fire. That's why the fire stays on top. It's really the vapors that catch. I don't think diesel is like that. Diesel, they had to compress it and it had to be under pressure. under the pressure, you're able to get it to ignite and burn. But it don't burn like that. So I mean, I don't know. But if what do I know? There's MI5 and Scotland Yard investigating this. If they say it's diesel, then it's diesel. But this could be something related to Palestine and Hamas with what's been happening. You all know UK is a very unstable place, especially when these things happen. There's another video of some devil climbing up some place in, what's his name, Sheffield? In Sheffield to pull down the Israel flag, and he fly the Palestinian flag all the way to the top. Some huge building in Sheffield, right? Like this thing is taking on legs of its own, and the media is not helping. They're perpetuating it, pushing it. It's very one-sided. Us in here, we're not on either side, but the Lord's side. You understand? We're not on either side, but the Lord's side, for one reason and one reason only. That land ain't yours. That land you fighting over, that ain't yours. You understand? And you claiming it, under false pretenses. That land don't belong to Palestine or the so-called the state of Israel or the Israelis. That land is absolutely not yours, and there's biblical laws concerning it. And like what Officer Damgaba was saying earlier on, if it is you all about your religion or your people, you're always used to taking things into your own hand because your gods are not real. So now you should go all the way in and fight on behalf of your people. You should go down there and back your people up and support them. However, if you really want to win, if you really want to know about warfare and to get on the side of the right side of the Lord, both you sides would bow down to the Israelites, the real chosen people of God, the real Jews. You would bow down and give everything over. But of course, you all are not going to do that because of your pride. The pride that's in your heart is definitely deceived you. Give me Isaiah. Let's start with this one. You could kill that off the screen too. Let's go back. Somebody hold Deuteronomy 19 and 14 first, and then give me also Isaiah. No, it's like Zechariah 9 and 6. We might start at 5. No, we could just do 6. Right? We start right there again. Zechariah 9 and 6. Somebody hold Deuteronomy 19 and 14. All right, whoever have Zechariah, let's go.
Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 6.
9. Yeah, go ahead.
And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
All right, who knows what that means?
Salakia, sir.
Come on, I'm listening up.
The wrong people will dwell in that land. I would say in Israel.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Why is it calling him a bastard?
Salakia, sir, because he's not a child of God. He's not the right people to live there.
I'll take that. Right, a bastard is a what do you call an illegitimate child, or a child who the father has rejected, and the Most High Power, our Father, He has rejected both the Arabs and the so-called Jewish man, the white man down there in Israel. You understand? The Bible says, "In Isaac shall thy seed be called." Isaac is the father of Jacob and the 12 tribes. Nobody else. We are God's chosen people. That land rightfully belongs to us. And today you have the bastard dwelling in Ashdod and the Philistines, who is Palestine. That's Philistines is Palestine. All right. Both of them are there. He said he'll cut the pride out of the Philistines. Why? Because they don't taken on a certain amount of pride in themselves, even though that so-called Jewish man is wrong for what he's been doing. He's absolutely wrong for what he's been doing. However, that's what they get because they also assuming our land. They're assuming our land that's not theirs. Give me Deuteronomy 19 and 14.
Deuteronomy 19, verse 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark
Say it again.
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
Say it one more time.
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
This is a law in the Bible. This is a law. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark. You understand? You ain't supposed to go and take it and move it back and encroach and steal over land and all that stuff. You know, the history of Palestine and Israel, that land there today was given official statehood in 1947, 48. Prior to that, the Palestinians ruled that land. They were the majority. The Jewish man was the minority. And in 47, Britain gave certain sections of that land over to the Jewish people and cut off the Palestinians. Palestinians didn't like it from that point, did not like it. They hated it. And between 1947 and 1967, the Jewish man started encroaching and taking more and more and more land and been provoking Palestinians. Now, again, I don't have a dog in the race. I don't care who wins or who loses. I don't care who loses, children. It doesn't matter to me. Y'all go ahead and, you know, y'all do it yourself. Do it till you're satisfied. Simply because when we suffer, when the 12 tribes of Israel suffer, you all are very quiet. All your leaders are quiet. All your religious men, your rabbis and your imams are absolutely quiet. It's like they're gagged when you see Hispanic children on the border. It's like you don't care when you see all the police brutality and the young black men getting killed in the street, like Rashawn Charles, Michael Brown, Mark Duggan. Like y'all don't say nothing, y'all don't protest, y'all don't do nothing, y'all don't say cry for black people. Y'all don't say let's pray for the Windrush. I ain't see one meme saying pray for Windrush, but everybody talking about pray for Palestine or pray for Israel or pray for peace. So me myself, I don't have no prayers for y'all. My prayers are my prayer budget is done. I don't wait till next month till I get paid. The Lord give me some more prayers. Maybe I could see what I could give you. But for right now, my prayers is done. I done paid all the prayers for the 12 tribes of Israel. Come on out.
Right.
It also came out in the news today that they're trying to push it to the government that anyone that waves a Palestinian flag, it's a hate crime. So soon you won't be able to support Palestine in England. So they're saying it's going to be a hate crime. They're trying to they're passing it up to police.
I think that's what I saw. First, they said more patrols. If you notice, anywhere around in your areas, there's more police cars everywhere because they're looking for whatever. But it's really to spark something. That's what when police start in an area, it's to intimidate the people and it's to get a reaction, so they have a reason to do something. Secondly, they said they're going to start flying Israel flags all over on government buildings and stuff to show their solidarity, because somehow the BBC reported that innocent people got killed in the Hamas stuff. I don't know if they're innocent. I don't know who was a child molester. I don't know who was selling heroin. I can't say if they're innocent or not. You get the point? They said among the innocent people that died, there were some British citizens. Well, where's the proof? I ain't seen. Do British people go to Israel and chill out? I don't know. I ain't sure. But again, this is all they're ramping up to go fall on Palestine right now to start the war. They're ramping up, they're gearing up. So what you say in there, that don't surprise me at all. And that's probably why that fool climbed that building in Sheffield to, fly that Palestinian flag at the top. And once again, we don't have a dog in the race. It does not matter who wins and who loses in terms of Palestine over the state of Israel or the state of Israel over Palestine. That's not our, aim and our mission and what we waiting on. However, this here is a step towards the prophecy of the end. You understand? Everybody get me?
Done.
All right. Go read that scripture one more time out.
Got one card, Deuteronomy 19:14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
Go ahead.
Got one card, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it.
Now this is very pivotal, because the Lord did not give that piece of land to the state of Israel, neither to the Palestinians. The Lord did not give that land to them to possess it. Britain did. The Queen did. That's who gave that land over. You understand? That land wasn't given to them by the Most High Power. It was not given to them. It was given to us. It was absolutely given to us. That is our land they're fighting over. That's our house they're fighting over. And they expect a ton of sympathy and, solidarity for something they both stole. It's two criminals fighting each other. Two absolute lawless criminals. The law say you can't go to remove your neighbor's landmark. You can't go take over his land. You can't go and do that. You cannot do that. You get the point? Give me also Deuteronomy 21. Give me Deuteronomy 28. So what? Give me Deuteronomy 28. $68. Right? Somebody else hold Deuteronomy 21. Right? If you all have any questions, if there's any questions in the chat, let me know too, please. All right. Any questions that come up, any questions in the from the brothers online, just let me know ASAP. All right. Whoever have it could go ahead.
Canada won't come, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right? This is a prophecy given to the 12 tribes of Israel by Moses, that we would be sold into slavery, into bondage on ships. And he said, by the way whereof I speak unto thee, you will not see this place again. Meaning, he's saying, around these parts, by the way where I speak to you, like around the way, this way where I'm speaking to you, this area, you will not see this land again. We have not returned to our homeland as a people, and in bulk, like the whole nation, 12 tribes, have not returned since we went into slavery. You understand? So now, for the people in that land now who's saying they are the real Jews, it's not biblical that they are the real Jews. They are not the real Jews. They are absolute imposters, and they don't have a stake in that land outside what Britain has given them and what America supports. America gives the state of Israel the largest welfare check ever. There's somebody look it up. Somebody could Google it and let me know. I believe it's something like $2.4, $2.8 billion a year. And then they like to talk about Black people as a drain on the economy and Hispanic people because we get welfare and we get universal credit and we get all kind of free as council houses. Meanwhile, the state of Israel gets welfare to the tune of billions of dollars a year. And they did nothing for America, and America did nothing to them. But they get so much support. Forget about the Palestinians. You know what I mean? The Palestinians make the news, brother, and there's so much support for them. There's so many crying and tears and so many heartfelt expressions about what's going on in Palestine, free this. The occupation is wrong. Meanwhile, the whole world watches what happens to us, and nobody says it. You have it? Go ahead, read it out for them, Mark, please. If it doesn't mess up the damn thing, try it one more time, see if it works. If it messes it up, just read it out. But if it don't mess it up, yeah, you could definitely share it.
All right, so this says Biden signed legislation last year that provided $3.8 billion in annual funding for Israel.
How much?
$3.8 billion in annual funding for Israel.
In annual funding. Every year, they're getting $3.8 billion of free money out. Free money. Meanwhile, there was, it had to go to Congress. You had to go to your politicians to approve a stimulus check, to approve some money during COVID for rent forgiveness programs, and just to give people, some kind of stipend so they could eat. But meanwhile, the state of Israel gets $3.8 billion a year for what? Assuming some title that Britain done give you and lying to the world about you being the real Jew. You're not the real Jew. And the Palestinians, they don't have no claim to that land. They're breaking God's law. They done stole our land. You stole our land and you're going through a whole fight now, claiming that this is yours, and it is absolutely not yours. You don't have a stake to the land. You ain't supposed to remove your neighbor's landmark. That's in the law. That land belongs to us. The Lord gave it to us. Before that, it was the land of Canaan. The Lord said, go in there and get them out, and that land will be yours. That land is absolutely ours, that whole Fertile Crescent. And that little piece of land they're fighting over now, it's not even the entire land of Israel biblically. The land of Israel is a lot bigger than that. A lot bigger than that when you trace the rivers, the Gihon, the Euphrates, the Nile. I think the Tigris is the other one. It's a lot bigger than that little piece they're fighting over. But of course, now they don't get both batteries in their back. You have Palestine. Hamas done took revenge for a slight they suffered earlier this year. And really, it's a slight they've been suffering since 1940s. All right. And again, we don't have a horse in the race. This is not in support of the state of Israel or Palestine. But it's good to understand the history of these countries so you would really know what's going on. Palestine is just getting tired of being bullied by the state of Israel. That's it. They're just tired of it. They ain't having it no more. And that's that. Right? Now, give me Deuteronomy 21. Let's get Deuteronomy 21. And let's start at 1. All right? 21 and 1. Again, if anybody had any questions, make sure you say it, all right?
So like you said,
go ahead.
What I'm getting from this is this should let people know how powerful the Bible is, because everybody that's fighting over that land, they all read the Bible and believe something from the Bible is promised to them.
Right.
So they all see Abraham, and the Arabs believe this is promised to me through Abraham.
Yeah.
The Jews believe that they're the real Jews. They believe, God, this is promised to me. And the people who it's really promised to are fighting over Hansworth and Aston.
Come on, man. Come on.
Care about what's really theirs.
Fighting over ends. They're fighting over a whole damn country and government. But they don't understand it. You're absolutely right. And really, us as a people, we don't even understand it. Because the average person who's from the 12 tribes of Israel is today praying for peace. It's today praying for the war to stop. Why they're so violent. They don't understand that this is the nature of the game. This is how it's going to play out. This is the rest of the earth. As you can see, the future is war. There's going to be war and rumors of war. Resources are getting tighter. In fact, before we go to Deuteronomy 21, whoever has it, hold it. Give me Chased Road. Where is that? Isaiah. Give me Isaiah 13. Let's start at 2.
Isaiah 13:2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exhort the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
Right? That's what we do today. Right? The UPK lifts a banner up on every high mountain. What's that banner? The word of the Lord. Physically, you're going to see that banner that we have at Camp St. ISUPK with the shield of the Lord on it. And what is every high mountain?
So like you said, does it mean government?
That's right. The mountains in the scriptures represent the high governments, the big and powerful nations. You get the point? And that's where we are. We're in every major city, in every damn near every country almost around the world, raising up that banner high. Right? Go ahead.
Khan, I have commanded my...
No, read verse 2 again.
Khan, Isaiah 13:2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exhort the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right? It says exalt the voice unto them. That's what you do at camp. That's what you do at your street speaking. You go out there and you prophesy, you blaze, you read, you open the book of the law and you read it to them and you exalt your voice onto these high mountains.
Right.
You charge them in 10 Downing Street. You charge them in Westminster. You charge them for what they're doing. You have a ton of sympathy for Palestine and this and that, but you was all the way gung-ho against the children of the Windrush and the parents of the Windrush. You didn't have no mercy for us. You had a ton of big talk. Tony Blair, before he lost that election or stepped down, whatever he did, they asked him for reparations for the Benjamites in the West Indian Islands. He said, we ain't got no money for reparations, but I will give you $2 million to build a prison for all the Negroes I'm about to deport. He ain't talking so tough now, is he? You ain't talking so tough now, are you? Huh? Yeah, well, you ain't got money to throw away to build prisons, do you? You ain't got that now. So we're going to continue to prophesy on these mountains. And let me tell you all something. You brothers who go out there and hazard your lives and throw and put your lives, lay your lives at the mercy of whoever for the sake of the Lord, y'all are absolute gold. Y'all are absolute solid gold. And the Lord appreciates it, man, because men of courage is hard to come by. Men of wisdom and understanding and absolute courage. Just to do this job, it's not enough to understand the Bible. To do this job is not enough to memorize scripture. To do this job, you have to have total, complete, unbridled, unadulterated courage. Because what's going to happen, everybody is going to be an enemy. This is the only job you have where the police and the thief hates you. The drug addict and the drug dealer hates you. The LGBTQ and the promiscuous whores on the earth hate you. People who normally would hate each other on opposite sides of the rainbow, on opposite sides of the damn road, on opposite sides of the law, they will come together in unity to hate you for what you say.
Right.
It takes courage to do it, brother. And you should never give it up for nothing. Don't give it up for anything. Right. Keep your courage, keep your heart, stay loyal, stay unified, maintain your integrity, Akim. This world is falling down before your very eyes.
Right.
And it's written right here in the Bible. Like, this is not a race that you have to wonder who's going to win. The winner is already declared. The winner is already
That's right.
You just had to stay loyal and watch this thing crumble out. Watch it crumble. The Bible prophesied about World War III. Brother, Russia and China declared solidarity with Palestine. America, Britain, somebody else. I think the French is backing the state of Israel. Somehow all the world powers is getting ready to go to war over one little militant group who gets some extra supply of rockets. That's all it took? Is that all it took? Hurry up and get it on, man. Hurry up and get it on. Push the button. That needs to happen. Keep reading up. And that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Hold on. That they may go into the gates of the nobles. That's what we do all the time. We battle politicians. We go on the media and battle news announcers, Commander Junior. I had like 3-4 huge interviews in the past, 4 or 5 years. NBC News. Another one named Matt Blatcher from Philadelphia. He's a big-time news reporter. You don't forget HBO flew all the way to they flew to New York, Philly, North Carolina, and DC to follow the general all around to find out more about what he believes. And in the end, they say, well, listen, man, he makes the most sense of all these groups because we actually have a case. We actually have a plight. We have something tangible that you could say, I want justice for. You understand? We shaking our hands in the gates of the nobles. Like they see in us and they hearing what we're doing. But because we don't have rockets like Hamas or Iron Dome like the state of Israel, nobody takes us seriously. No problem. The birds gonna help us. The hurricanes gonna help us. The volcanoes gonna help us. You understand? The tornadoes gonna help us. COVID-19 will help us. They will be our weapons of warfare until our King Jesus Christ returns. But until then, let them go ahead and take us for slight, man. Let them go ahead and do it. They're losing their country. They're losing their lives, and while we gaining ours. Keep going.
Verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness.
You understand? That's what the Lord is doing. The Lord has commanded his sanctified ones. He called his mighty men for his anger. That's why they see us on the street and they say, why are you so angry? It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. For the life of me, I'm trying to go watch a goddamn Manchester United game. I can't go do it because the anger of the Lord got to get expressed.
That's right.
Every weekend. Every weekend it got to get expressed. Because forever we've been hearing of the anger of Krishna, of Mother Lashmi, of Allah, of some Jewish god, the Kabbalah, the Kaaba stone. We hear the anger of every other god. We hear the anger of Hamas this last weekend. Now we hear the anger of Israel. Then we hear the anger of Britain. Or we have to hear the anger of everybody else. But when we get angry for Windrush, they tell us stay quiet. They tell us we ain't got nothing to say. The Lord said, read that part again, the middle of 31.
Khan. I have commanded my sanctified ones.
Go ahead.
I have called my mighty ones for mine anger.
For my what?
For my anger.
For my what?
For my anger.
The Lord's anger matters. Because he's the only God. He's the only one that matters. And only because of him, we matter. Without serving the Lord, brother, we would be dust in the wind. We would be eternal victims. We would have no recourse. We would not be the special people of the earth. And our people have to learn that. Our people absolutely have to learn that. Give me verse 4.
Khan. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
You understand? That's what's going on right now. The Lord is assembling his nation. He's pulling us together from all kingdoms and nations. And as he's pulling us together, the heathens are also coming together. They're coming together, assembling for what? War. For battle. The Lord just wants us to come together and sit by and watch. The Lord giving you the best Netflix series you have ever seen. The End of the World as You Know It. Season 1. You better get locked in and loaded and be able to see what the Lord is going to do to this earth for your sake, for your children's sake. Keep going. Pass it up, Hacker. Let me get quarters up.
Khan.
Go ahead. Give me
Captain Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 9?
13 and 5.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
You understand? Read it again.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Yes, and they are assembling from far, so are we. But our weapons is from the Lord, not them things they got in Hamas, not them things they got on the state of Israel, not the Israeli weapons, them Uzis and the Iron Dome and the seeking missiles and the ICBM missiles. Them things is nothing compared to what the Lord had. Give me verse 6 out.
Verse 6. Howl ye.
Say it again.
Howl ye.
Say it again.
Howl ye.
Howl ye. Howl. What is a howl?
That's a groan, sir.
Say it again.
A groan.
Like a groan. What kind of groan?
A groan.
Like a cry, Salakia.
A cry.
Like a cry. Like a painful cry. Blood curdling howl. Like, what's going on? That's what you're seeing right now on the Gaza Strip. That's what you're seeing happening on the West Bank. That's what you're seeing happening in Tel Aviv or wherever them rockets landed. Howl ye, howl, cry, weep and moan. Why? Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Say it one more time.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
That's what's going on, man. The day of the Lord is at hand, meaning it's close. It's nearby. It's close. We're closer than ever been when it comes to the timeline of these prophecies for the end of the world. Right? We closer in terms of what's actually happening. Not in terms of the actual time that passed, but what's happening right now. This is indicating a very, very close return of our King, man. And while all this going on, the Space Force is making more and more strides in taking ground to defend outer space. You know, everybody heard of the Space Force, right? You heard of Space Force? Space Force, I believe, is the 5th or the 6th branch of the U.S. military. Yeah, the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force. I think it's the 5th one, and the Space Force, right? The Space Force is a military branch that operates in outer space. Who they fighting? Who they preparing to fight? I don't know. They're claiming the Space Force is to defend from foreign entities. What they're expecting? What do they know that we don't know? What are they seeing? What do they get? Then they just last week they talk about the Space Force done took over some ground troops, took control of it, control of that department to be able to guard the ICBM missiles. They got missiles on land that they control and missiles on the moon in outer space from the satellite. You could go look this up. The Space Force is a legit arm of the military. Why you want missiles in space when all your enemies, your proclaimed enemies of first world countries are in the Middle East? So you mean to tell me them sand Negroes on camels making the IED bombs with nails and ball bearings? You need a missile for them? You need a missile for them. So what all them SEALs and Marines training for? Unless them missiles is for somebody else.
Right.
Unless the missiles is for someone else. You understand? While we here, are you all familiar with what I think it's Ronald Reagan or Nixon? He addressed the nation and said, what if we were invaded by a foreign entity? Wouldn't then all our problems and our differences be nothing? And we'll have to unite to fight them. He said this is like the 80s or the 70s. Anybody familiar with it?
Council.
With the Star Wars Initiative. That's what they call it, the Star Wars Initiative or the Star Wars Program. I'm trying to see if I could pull it up now. Maybe I could play it for you. Hold up. If somebody finds it, just post it in the chat. If anybody watching, I believe it's Nixon. Could be Reagan. Always make me two of them.
So lucky. I think it was Reagan, sir.
Yeah, if somebody could find, just post the link in the chat so we could play it. Where he's alluding to the fact that all these wars that they fight in each other on Earth, someday they're going to have an invasion from outer space and they're going to have to come together to fight. Why would he say that when that's in the Bible? Why would he say it? What's the proof of it? For years, they told us there was no aliens. Remember, there's no life in outer space, the going ever. Now, earlier this year, the U.S. Congress were holding congressional meetings. Congressional meetings is like a council. If anybody's in the UPK, you know what a council is. You have major council, camp council. You have trespass council. You go into council and you get asked investigations, grillings, and what happened. They was doing that with, you know, military and Air Force people who seen stuff and had videos. And these devils went in front of the U.S. government and said, we have IFOs, identified flying objects, and they are manned by biological matter. That's what they said. After so long, why are they admitting to that now? Is it because they know the time is short? Is it because they're expecting something from outer space? While everyone is looking at Hamas and the state of Israel, you better still watch and pray like the Lord said.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Salakia, and I'd watched that myself. And one of the questions was, would you be able to defend yourself if they attacked you? And they said no.
Well,
they knew.
They know. You so right, Doc. They absolutely know. You did?
Okay.
Go ahead. Somebody send a video? Oh, okay. Hold on. That's it, brother. Young man Jaheim example. Listen, Salaki, if I still calling you a slave name, brother. I hope this young man, I believe he's from Atlanta. I think he's from Atlanta. Don't go by how I can send it to you.
It's a YouTube video.
Is it YouTube? Hold on.
YouTube on the other side.
Yeah, it is YouTube.
Yeah, send me
okay.
The title and I'll just put it on YouTube.
The title is
This is my heritage.
President Reagan, 3 famous alien threat speeches. 3 famous alien threat speeches.
I would be with General Secretary Gorbachev. I couldn't help it.
All right, make sure the speakers on. Yeah, let play that because you had to skip the volume off for now and just skip the ad as soon as. You ready to share it? All right. Hit the no thanks on the. See where it says no thanks? Yeah. Make it big on the, yeah, right there. Yep. Volume.
Discussions with.
So what?
I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev. When you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live.
Stop right there.
I couldn't help.
He said after talking with Gorbachev, who was then, I think, the secretary for Russia, right? I think later on he became the leader of Russia, or before he was the leader. And he said, I couldn't help to think we're all God's children. Now, when the Lord not in the play, he act like he's God, like the scripture said. He want to act like God and sit in the hearts of the men like he is God. But now he talking to him and he's like, I couldn't help but think we're all God's children, meaning this is a way for us to be united because of this. Go ahead.
But say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe.
Stop.
We'd forget all the little local differences that we have.
Just, yeah. You can hit the space bar too. The space bar will pause it, all right? He said, just think how easy these meetings would be. Why the meetings? Why is he fantasizing about how easy meetings would be? It's because they're in there as enemies talking. They're two people who lead nations that are totally on opposite sides of the street. One is more Democrat, one is strongly communist, one is more modern Christian, one is the old school Christian. They're two different sides. And he's saying, just think how easy these meetings would be if one day there was a common threat from outside the universe, from a planet outside the universe. Now, you've been in school, right? All the planets you know of that they tell you they have is in the universe. But somehow there's a planet somewhere outside where this threat is coming from. Why would you even imagine that as a world leader? Because you know what it's about. You know what's about to happen. And this was in the 70s or the 80s. Go ahead.
Between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together.
Stop.
Well,
no, he talking about him and Russia. He ain't talking about us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being human beings on this earth together. That doesn't matter. When that invasion from that planet outside the universe, according to him, is coming for you and I. It's coming for us. That's what it's coming for. But he don't give a damn about it. He wants to get together with his fellow European Caucasian brothers to fight for the right to keep us in slavery, to keep power over the earth, and thinking that they'll be doing us a favor, and they call it alien invasions. And this is where you would have, just a little sidebar note, every alien invasion movie is propaganda. So when the return comes, you would already be switched into the mode of fighting the sky and not rejoicing. You ever notice in every so-called alien invasion movie, the people that welcome the aliens, that go to the mountaintop or stand on top of the buildings and say, welcome, we've been waiting, they get killed first. It's to psychologically prepare you for when that time comes, you are going to be in fear and want to join the fight against the sky. When your salvation comes from the sky. The Bible says Christ is returning as a man, just like you saw him ascending into the cloud. Meaning he's coming back from the clouds. And when he comes back, he's coming back with 200 million angels. It's ridiculous. Anymore? Go ahead.
I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us. But I think that between us, we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Well, this is a good video, bro.
And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
So he's saying maybe the fact that there's war on the earth is already an alien force, meaning it's something that's foreign to us because we want just peace. The peace he's talking about is his people ruling, his people being in charge and ours being on the bottom under their foot. And he's saying war is destabilizing that. War is a foreign thing. He's saying, no, listen, if there's a foreign people that come, wouldn't our differences be put aside? Wouldn't we unite? You want to understand life as a free man and a free woman, you need to study our oppressor. Not envy him, but study him.
Right.
What do I mean by that? He's telling other nations, that's why in the beginning of the last speech, they showed you a man from the United Soviet Republic because they are communists. They anti-democracy, anti-America. But it's two white men. So he's appealing to brotherhood to come together because we all have one enemy who is going to hurt us, who's going to, put their foot on our neck. What should that tell Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Who knows?
Salakia, sir. We should gather together ourselves.
That's right. I'll give him a hand. That's absolutely right, brother. We should gather together ourselves. That's what the Bible says. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. You understand? O nation not desired, gather yourselves together. All right, what do you always put? Month first or date first? Date first, right? Right? Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. All right, go ahead, play the video.
Yeah, I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, you know, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
Wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat? You can pause that. Yeah, I won't go into something else. Right? He's saying we all human beings, citizens of the world, and won't we come together to fight that particular threat? That threat is our salvation.
That's right.
That threat is our tomorrow, because our today is done. We look for tomorrow. Yeah, that song that young girl sing. That's why I like tomorrow. We looking forward to tomorrow. I know the people in Gaza and West Bank and Tel Aviv, they're not looking forward to tomorrow. They're looking past. They're looking to yesterday and yesteryear when things was peaceful. We looking forward to tomorrow. Who gonna get blown up next?
Right.
Who gonna drop soldiers where next? Why? Because the Bible said this is the signs of the time. This is the signs of the end. This is the sign of the end. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that cometh after. And brother, Esau is getting ready to have the end. So like that U.S. president said, if there's a foreign entity that coming to attack your people, you should come together and prepare to fight. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, we need to come together.
Right.
It's high time we need to come together. Brother, this is the time to ancestors. This is not the time to gamble with the truth. This is not the time. I want to say gamble, meaning take a chance and try something else. This is the time to put all your chips. Anybody who like gambling, hey, the brothers in here know I like a little odds from time to time. This is the time to sit on that stool and push all the chips into the truth. You put everything, you bet all on black. This is the time for that. This is not the time to try something else and do something else and look for a new salvation. Brother, we at the end. We at the very, very end. What they're preparing for, they've been building and preparing and training and developing technology. Why? To fight our king when he returns. Because really, what they want is to remain in power. But their time is at an end. Hamas got woken up. And they poked Hamas into waking up. Don't think Hamas just wake up one day and decide to do it. You go to the history of that whole land. The state of Israel has been bullying them Arabs, bullying the hell out of them since the 1940s. And Britain sanctioned it because Britain had control over the region with Australia. And they allowed the Jewish man to come in and push the Palestinians off the land. All right. Keep reading. Where you at? Isaiah 13.
Come on, sir. It was at verse, just finished verse 6.
Come on.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
Okay, read 6 again.
Verse 6. Howl he, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
Right, all hearts shall be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Faith meaning grow weak. Their heart is going to start growing weak. They're going to lose that confidence. You understand? They're going to lose that confidence. Their heart is going to start growing weak. They're not going to maintain the same pride. They're not going to maintain the same intensity they have, because something that's going to happen is going to shake them to the very core. Let me tell you something. We just had COVID, right? After COVID, you had Russia and Ukraine. Remember that? Shit. Before COVID, you had Brexit. Remember, they was complaining about Brexit? Then England went and left the European Union, and the white people in England thought it would have been better. And things got worse. Things got worse. After COVID, the place been bankrupt. COVID come and pass. Now you have Russia and Ukraine. You can't even get oil and petrol products coming in the way it used to. They say Russia was down near the breadbasket of this side of the earth. So now with Russia having the embargoes and the war between them, it's slowing up the oil, it's slowing up the food. Anybody notice the shelves in the stores is a little bit more bare than usual? You'll notice that too?
Sir, the bread aisle and you know, some of the, you know, fruits and things like that are empty. And I've got used to it now since after COVID. But before COVID, it wasn't like that.
It was not like that. And once again, England has not recovered. England has not recovered. So, brother, this thing with Hamas here, I'm just saying, the general been saying prepare. He said it earlier, I think on one of the radio shows or somewhere, Chicago, or the radio shows. He said it very recently. Or New York. It might have been New York cookout. Commander General Hanna said 2024. A little reverb. You might have to mute on mic or something.
It might be yours, I believe.
Right? 2024 is going to be a rough year for everybody. And brother, you know, you could wait and see if he's a prophet of the Lord. I already know it. I done seen him say things before and it happened. And see them say it and the thing happened, prophesied before time and it happened. You best believe what's going on now is going to snowball. It's not going to end, because now people are going to say there's been times in the past where there's been wars and times in the past where there's been rumors of wars. However, our oppressor has never been this desperate and hungry. These nations right now are extremely desperate and hungry, brother. They're desperate, they're hungry, their economies are falling, they're struggling to make ends meet. They're just not saying it yet, because the last thing they want is war in their own streets. The last thing they want is civil unrest. That's the last thing they want. So they ain't saying much, which is why, again, that fire in Luton, I would like to think in 2023 in an airport, if there's a fire, there's a quick response to out the fire in an airport. Sprinklers, foam extinguishers, some, you know, they use carbon dioxide to out fires too, to stifle the fire. How many cars? Hundreds of cars? How much $1 million in damage? I'm not entirely sure that was an accident. That's a huge accident to happen 4 days after Hamas bombed Israel, and then Britain is siding with Israel. That's a huge accident to happen. Go ahead.
And so like he says, what is people in England think, all right, we're far away from Hamas and Israel, so we're safe. You got so much Muslims in England that are going to become terrorists and
just waiting.
Yeah.
Just waiting on an excuse. While you deporting the Windrush, ain't nobody blowing up parking garages in Kingston. Ain't nobody blowing up parking garages in Port of Spain, in Georgetown, in St. Lucia, in St. Kitts. Ain't nobody blowing up parking garages there. You think you're so far away and you're untouchable when you touch the whole world. The end is coming and judgment is, you know, if you want equality, then really it has to touch you too. It has to touch you too, which is why we separate from this kingdom. We separate from culture, from their ways, from their high holy days, because we ain't got no part with them. And when troubles start taking them, we don't want no part of that either, because they don't want no part of our troubles. They sweep our troubles under the rug. They tell us forget about our troubles. They tell us down about our troubles. Well, we are commanded by law to remember our troubles. Give me that in Baruch real quick. Hold where you at. Who's reading? Banyamin, hold where you at. Give me Baruch 6 and 4. You have a pocket for down there? Give me Baruch. Hold on, I got mine. Try to never travel without this apocrypha, brother. This apocrypha is like a mini switchblade.
Baruch, there's only 5 in Baruch, sir.
It might be 4 and 6.
No, it's not. Baruch goes up to chapter 6.
Oh,
if it's not 6 and 4, it's 4 and 6. You have it up?
Sir. 5. I got 5. 4 and 6, you say, right?
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
Now shall you see in Babylon gods of silver.
Which one are you reading?
That was Baruch 6 and verse 4.
6 and try 4 and 6.
You were sold to the nations. Sir?
Yeah. Yep. Hold on.
Baruch.
Yeah, let me get up.
Go on, calm. Baruch 4:6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies.
No, Salakia, brother. I apologize. Baruch chapter 3. And verse 4. Give me that. Let Banyamin take it.
Khan.
Khan, sir. Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 4, you said, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Khan. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
Hear now the prayers of who?
The dead Israelites.
Of who?
Dead Israelites.
Go ahead.
And of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee, their God. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us.
That's the prayer that we should be praying to the Lord. That's what we commanded to remember. Remember the prayers of the dead Israelites, Zach. Remember the prayers of your foreparents who died at the end of a rope over a bridge, under a tree, in a barn somewhere, lit on fire. As they taught, you'll have a picture of Caesar in here? Let me get that picture of Caesar. You had some of our foreparents that was burned alive, not with no rocket. Somebody coming and kicking in your door and dragging you outside and beating you to within an inch of your life, and then lighting you on fire, rubbing salt in your wounds, watching you burn, hanging your children, hanging your wives, hanging your people. And as they're dying, brother, I'll take that, hell. As they're dying, the oppressor is telling you this is Jesus Christ.
Right.
The oppressor is telling you that this is who God looks like.
Right.
The oppressor is telling you that we are less than human because human beings look like this. And there were Israelites that died thinking this was the king.
Right.
Thinking this man is greater and better than them. Baruch said, remember the prayers of the dead Israelites. Remember the prayers of the dead Israelites as they died and they cursed the oppressor with their last breath. As they cursed him and wished 1,000 plagues on him. For you now to do what? Say, pray for Palestine? Free Palestine? Read that part again, Banyamin, please.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 4. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
He ain't got time to hear the prayers of the dead Palestinians or the dead Israelis.
Right.
They're killing Israelites every single day.
Right.
We have to remember their prayers, and we have to ask the Lord to remember their prayers. As we know we've sinned against the Most High Power. We know we've sinned and disobeyed him, and we're coming back now and begging forgiveness and mercy and asking the Lord to remember the prayers of the dead Israelites. I don't want to hear no prayers of Hamas or Israel. You're not in your land any damn way. You're not in your own land. Let's finish off Isaiah and get to Deuteronomy 21 quickly. Whoever's reading Isaiah 13.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth.
You understand? Their hearts will fail. It will go faint. They'll get scared and sorrowful. Real sorrowful. And they're gonna, what it said, and they shall be in pain as a woman who travaileth. Damn. Israel in pain right now. And some of them things that show you how proud these heathens are. After Hamas done let over 2,000 rockets into your land, brother, you believe these people had some day party in an open field, I mean, miles away from the Gaza? Miles away from the Gaza, so close. They say Hamas just went in there and started snatching people up. This is how proud the Israeli man is. After he done pushed them off the land, pushed them into borders, they just went and party right there, miles away from the border. And now they're in pain. Go ahead.
Salakia,
Go ahead.
Who's this man you're talking about? Hamain. Salakia.
Say it again.
The guy the man you said, Humane, his name? Imain?
Hamas.
I don't know who that is, sir. Salakia.
No sweat. I'm gonna give you a little history. All right. I covered it in Monday's class. You could probably check out Monday's class too, but I'll give you a little brief history. Right. So you know about Israel and Palestine?
Kadwan Khan.
Right. In Palestine, right? Okay, Palestine, that was okay, just for the modern time, not us, but think the modern time, the modern era, the 1900s. That land was occupied by the Palestinians in majority. The Jewish man was actually the minority of the people there.
Right.
Round about the time of World War I, Britain and Australia and a couple other countries had rulership over that region. And they started facilitating and promoting the Jewish man to come back into Israel. And as Jewish people came in, they started taking away land from the Palestinians. Then the Holocaust happened, and World War II happened. And after that, it was, just come back to Israel. And they took more and more land. There was wars between Palestine and Israel back then. And in 1947, Britain carved out land for the Palestinians and carved out land for the Israeli man, giving the state of Israel way more land than the Palestinians. Between 1947 and 1967, Israeli people had started taking land away from the Palestinians that Britain gave to them.
Right.
For 20 years, keep encroaching until there was a war. I forget what is the name of the war, the Great East War or something like that. There was a war between Israel and Palestine, and Israel wrecked them with bombs. And Britain and United Nations was against Israel for it. This was in 1967 or 68. And since then, Israel just been bullying the hell out of them, and they've been fighting back. Round about the 80s, they formed a militia called Hamas, right? Which is like a rebel group.
Right.
Hamas started to grow in popularity and actually ran for elections and won and had political power. And they took over other political parties over there and started going against the treaties that some political parties made with the state of Israel.
Right.
And since then, Hamas be having political power, even though Britain and United Nations and Israel don't recognize them. The people actually supported Hamas. They said Hamas represents something like 2 to 3 million people. So since then, since about the late 1980s, 1990s, Hamas has been, doing military exercises, just like America would bomb Baghdad or Russia would bomb Ukraine. Hamas been doing that in defense of their people who they ruling over. Right now, Hamas is not the leader of the Palestinian government, but they have some political power. And on Saturday, that Hamas militia group launched over 2,000 rockets into Israel, combined with men dropping from the sky on them, what's called them thing? Parasails, them, the big triangle thing that they Brother, they said there was men parasailing, gliding in, people coming out the water and coming across the land after the rockets dropped. Them niggas did a whole G.I. Joe invasion on their ass. And that's what's going on now. And they, of course, Israel ready to retaliate. Israel said no more peace. They're going to bomb Hamas into the Palestine, into the Stone Ages, which I've heard before. However, now Russia and China is backing Hamas and Palestine. America and Britain is backing Israel. And with the current situation with Ukraine, the oil prices, BRICS, this thing is a high stakes game. This is a very high stakes game. So that's briefly the history of Hamas, but I'll get into it some more on Monday. You can check out Monday class. All right?
I understand that fully. I appreciate it, sir.
No sweat. Give me verse 9. Let's keep going.
Verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
That's what's going on. The Lord is laying that land desolate to destroy the sinners out of it. The sinners. The Palestinians are what? Muslim. Worshipping a rock according to the Lord, that's a sin. The Israeli man, do you know Israel has the biggest gay pride parade in the world?
Sir.
You all heard that before, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, brother. Israel has the largest gay pride parade. This is the Jewish man now. This is the children of God, according to them. The largest gay pride parade in the entire world. I think it lasts the longest, and it's the biggest mass of people they have representing LGBTQ in Tel Aviv, in Israel. There they go. All these years I come in here, I ain't hear ambulance run down this down road much as a police car. But they under panic right now, brother. The Lord is destroying the sinners out of the land, Doc. He's making it desolate for us. He's laying it waste for us. And listen, if they think Hamas bad, they don't want to see a big black nigga named Jesus Christ. Doc.
That's right.
They don't want to see him. Let's keep going. Who was reading?
Look here. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall not be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
You understand? This is wisdom and knowledge being removed from the earth. You understand? This is all the wisdom and knowledge being removed from the earth. Meaning what? It's going to come a time, brother, where people are not going to understand what's really going on. The thing is going to switch damn near like you go to sleep one night and you're going to wake up in a war zone. You're going to wake up where things is upside down and it's like, what the hell is going on? And only men, the priest of the Lord is going to know what's happening. The men and the women in the Israelite school of UPK and the command general, you're going to know what's happening because we've been teaching the prophecy. This is what is meant to happen. Right. This is what has to happen. There's no other way for it to happen that we be delivered and given our land. There's no other way. The Lord is not a diplomat where you go in and negotiate things and come back to the table and get bargaining power like a union leader. That's not how the Lord is. The Lord says, Israel, XYZ is the case, go left, we obey. We disobey, we go into slavery. We disobey, we get plagues. We disobey, we die. Now, if he does that, if he punishes his children like that, how much more the heathen? How much more the heathen? Some old desert trekking rock worshiper, or some old, filthy man who in his own circumcision would put wine in his mouth and suck the circumcised penis of a little baby. That's the Jewish man. They have a priest they call a moil, and that's how they would cleanse the wound after circumcision. How much more would he do that to them? I'm not surprised by what's going on, brother. I'm not surprised at all, but it gives us great encouragement to leave the world behind. Leave the world behind. When the scriptures say flee from Babylon, come out of her, my people, it's talking about leaving this world behind, brother, because I went into one of them stores today, brother. Big old store too. Asda, one of them stores out. Brother, them shelves look real lean. Them shelves look like they was on a diet.
Right.
I pick up a chicken, brother. The whole chicken fits in my hand. I was like, no, they're killing the baby chickens now. They didn't even let the chicken get big. The chicken can't get big. It's going to be rough. And listen, this is not just UK. It's happening in America. It's probably already happening in the third world countries. Forget about the Caribbean. The Caribbean might be a little bit insulated because of the potential and the amount of farming that already goes on in those places. Any place that's a little bit rural, you might still be tawab for food. But if you getting your food shipped to you, if you getting your food, delivered to you, you're gonna be down bad. Hold on 1 second. Shalom. You have to jump that. Yeah, I could get a call back. I'm teaching the class. All right, Musa. You have to jump that. Yeah, you're gonna be. Go ahead, Ak.
Like you said, just if I may add to that as well. You earlier when the Bible says we should gather ourselves together, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're gonna need each other, because like you said, these shelves are gonna be empty, and we're gonna need to circulate food and money amongst our own to survive. Salakia.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you more. You ain't gonna not just we gonna be in need of food and whatever else. We're gonna be in need of each other. Like the Lord said, He is building a nation within a nation. What does a nation have? What are some of the things a nation has? Like you look at a well-functioning country. What are some of the things a nation has, Hakayan? Officer Hakayan?
They have a military might and a government.
They have a military might and a government. You're going to need men to run that government. You're going to need men to run that military. What else? What else does a good functioning country have?
A good leader.
That's true. That's your government. There's something. Just think normal. Don't think too high up. Just think normal.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Sir, I would say like healthcare, to do with the healthcare, doctors, nurses.
You're gonna need nurses. You're gonna need doctors. You're gonna need people to drive the ambulance. You're gonna need security. You're gonna need police. Where would all that come from if we don't have each other?
That's right.
Our people already are government figures, military figures,
right?
Doctors, nurses, lawyers, police officers, social workers, midwives. We already do it for who?
The oppressors.
Now it's time to come do it for us.
That's right.
You understand? You know how we gonna survive while Hamas bombing the piss out of Israel? Because we could turn to each other now. All them years of degrees and studying you did in uni, come bring that in here. All that experience you had doing that trade and plumbing and carpentry and mechanic work, all that good food you learned to cook in ESOL culinary schools, come bring that in here. Because we already have the government and we already got that military. We got that militant order right up in here, brother. Come bring that in here. You're going to watch this nation thrive overnight. We're going to need each other. And in order to survive, we're going to have one mind. We're going to have to be in solidarity. We're going to have the spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
We're going to have to follow our King, Jesus Christ, man, who you know as Christ. Let's keep reading.
Verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil.
Say it again.
And I will punish the world for their evil.
Brother, that's a beautiful scripture. The Lord said, I will punish the world for their evil. He said, I will punish the world for their evil. That's glorious, Zach. That's glorious. We ain't got to just take an L on the chin. For all them beatings we used to get in them riots, for all them times we went and defended the so-called Pakistani man and the Afghanistani man and the Palestinian man, when them boppies, when them English boppies would go what? Paki bashing. For all the times we stood up and hazarded our lives on behalf of them, and they turn around now and steal Soho Road, steal Brixton, steal Moss Side up in Manchester, and don't do anything for us, and then mistreat us. The Lord said, I will punish the world for the evil.
That's right.
That's right.
Feel sorry for who? Feel sorry for what? Pray for what? Nigga, this is Bible prophecy, man.
Right.
I ain't getting anywhere with the Lord. I ain't never stopped the Lord from doing what the Lord want to do, man. And we all had brothers and sisters. Everybody remembers one time when your mother or your father is disciplining one of your brothers or one of your sisters, and that belt is going to town. You hearing it in that room. What do? Do you go and intervene?
No.
You want to intervene, but you know, damn, that smoke is, they earn that smoke. I'm not intervening. I'm praying for nothing.
That's right.
I'm praying for nothing. I'm praying for the Hispanic children on the border.
Salaki, sir, if you intervene, you want a piece of the beating as well.
Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Listen, the Bible says our Father, which lets you know this is a family. And anybody who's been in a house with some disciplinarian, you intervene. What do they say about what? You want some too? You back up off of it. You so right, Benjamin. Go down there and pray for Palestine if you want to. Do like Amari Stoudemire and his whole behind and talk about how evil it is for what they're doing to Israel with kidnapping people and stuff. Like the U.S. government is not kidnapping Hispanic children. Like they're not kidnapping Haitian children. Like they're not, being abusive to the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin. Like he ain't seeing all of that. He ain't seeing that. Read it again, verse 11.
Verse 11. And I will punish the world for their iniquity.
Read it one more time.
And I will punish the world for their iniquity.
For their evil.
Salakia, for their evil.
Go ahead.
And the wicked for their iniquity.
Go ahead.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
And that's what's going on, man. They all proud, all fighting for the land. The Lord gonna cause all of that to cease. The Lord's gonna cause it all to stop. Go ahead.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir.
You understand? Ophir was a place that had good gold, very good quality, high quality gold. The Lord said he would make a man more precious than a gold wedge from Ophir. That's what the UPK strives to produce, man. That's what the UPK strives to keep producing, man. High, like they like to talk about high value, man. The UPK produces high quality, absolutely outstanding men and women who serve the Lord. Brothers with tremendous courage and dedication and loyalty and brotherhood and of one single and solitary mind,
Right.
which is on the 12 tribes of Israel and the laws of God. And we focus on nothing else. Nothing else matters. We go to your slavery, we do your 8 hours and we come to hell back home to our people and teach and raise our people to hell up. And that's what makes us fine gold of Ophir, man. Keep going. No sweat.
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
Right? He said he would shake the heaven and remove the earth out of his place. The oppressor would read this and think, the sky gonna shake up and the earth gonna shake up. The Lord gonna turn things up. The heavens is talking about the paradise the oppressors enjoy today. That lifestyle they live, the higher ups, he gonna shake the heavens and remove the earth, what's underneath them. Meaning he gonna turn everything up. He gonna turn it up. The state of Israel would have been the heavens, and the Gaza Strip and the West Bank would have been the earth. That's the difference with the two of them. Did you know for the Gaza Strip, right? When you get time, look up where the Gaza Strip is. Did you know Israel controls all the borders of the Gaza Strip? The Gaza has 50% unemployment. 50. Look up the percentage unemployment in Jamaica or Haiti, poorest country on the earth. And I'm not trying to gain sympathy for the Palestinians at all. I'm just showing you something. The Gaza has 50% unemployment. The state of Israel controls the land, sea, and air access into the Gaza, meaning you could mail something to the Gaza Strip. The Israel customs had to approve that first. Did you know in COVID, the state of Israel did not let any vaccines go into the Gaza Strip? You could go look this up.
They're wicked.
They took the vaccines all for Israel and let none go to the Palestinians because why? They were hoping they would die out, like what their leader said he was going to do today. Not today, but since the bombing. That's why the Lord said he will shake the heavens and remove the earth. He's going to just twist everything up. And that's just one example of it. There's many examples when you look at the highs and the lows of society. He's going to twist everything up in his fierce anger. And as everything gets twisted up, there's going to be so much chaos in the earth. Absolute chaos like you've never seen before. Keep going.
And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
Right, and it shall be as a chased roe which no man taketh up. Like a roe is a deer. And if you ever see a deer run, brother, it's, just give up. Just get the shotgun. Because you're not catching that nigga. That nigga jumping and running like you have never seen before. A deer will jump clear across one street side to the other sidewalk. Clear, easily. It's like a chase row. You're going to be looking for peace and good times, and it's going to be like a chase row which no man could pick up. Meaning no man could run down a chase row and catch. You're going to chase it, but it's going to be fleeting and just running away. That's how it's going to be in this earth. And every man shall turn to his own people, and every man into his own land. That's what you're seeing happening now. We the last to do it. We're always the last to see about ourselves. Pakistani doing it, the Ethiopian doing it, people in Sudan doing it, the Eastern Europeans doing it. We just saw the video with Nixon talking about Gorbachev and the Soviet Republic, saying how we should come together to fight whoever coming to attack us. Every man shall turn to his own people, return to their own land. Akim, Akwafian, we have to return to our own people.
Right.
So the Lord is preparing to return us to our own land, our own place where we will rule this entire planet. We will rule it top to bottom righteously. There's nobody else more righteous than Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and women.
Right.
We have ultimate compassion. Israel never put them Palestinians in slavery. Imagine that. Israel never kicked in the door and took a baby and sold it to pick cotton. Israel ain't, put people on plantations and had them cutting sugarcane. Israel ain't take them Palestinian kids and hang their parents and lynch their parents and then raise the kids up obeying Jewish customs. Israel never did that to Palestine, as evil as Israel has done to them. But look how the Palestinians react. Now look what our oppressor has done to us. And what have we done? We fought in their wars and won their wars for them. Not help them win the war. Not help them. We won their wars for them. We serve the white Jesus. We play their sports for their entertainment. We sing their songs and their national anthems. We call ourselves Britons first. We cry when they cry. When they go through something, we say, man, that's enough, that's wrong. We find the right in every situation because we the righteous on the earth.
That's right.
Palestinians never went into slavery and they're slaughtering innocent people. And they call us evil. They say we criminal and we wicked. We went into slavery for 400 years. They take your land for 40, 50, 60 years. You can't take it. We suffered slavery.
Right.
Seeing our parents sold to one plantation, they sending some young girl 10 years old to another plantation. No mother, no father, no nothing. Rape, lynchings, getting set on fire. And we have yet to burn a country down. We have yet to take over a country.
That's
but
right.
We evil and we wicked. Let the fires burn out. Whether they burn in Tel Aviv or they burn on the Gaza Strip. I don't give a damn. When the smoke clears, get out. That's our land.
That's right.
By law. That's our land. In the meantime, you hard-headed Israelites, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you'll come down to 394 Lodge Road, man. Come down here and learn from the priests and prophets under command and Johanna, man. Learn how to come together, learn how to keep the feast days, learn how to keep the Passover, learn brotherhood. Learn brotherhood and how to have a family because you've never seen it before. You don't understand what love is. You don't know what brotherhood is because you've never seen it before. Come down here and get it live and direct and let them fools kill each other, man. Let them slaughter each other. They're cleaning up our land anyway. We'll be there real soon. Listen, man, I'm going to go over the law, the concubine tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be right here, Scripture Breakdown, live in Birmingham. Make sure you all tune in. Pay your tithes. With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Dum Gabar, man.
We're going to do the security announcements. We have the ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. New brother and sister. When the new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves on the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will call each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 and 21 through Malachi chapter 3 and 8 through 10. Ma'aisha means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher priest fund through an offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, the feast of dedication in December, or Akim and Akov, check the bulletin board in the hallways. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school to start wearing all black boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. Alright, so now we're gonna rise and face the east. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, one is saying what? A ball. I was shining. My young. Right. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. I will love you. Oh man. In the English, our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Give us our debts. And forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Alright, Akim, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Man of Israel, I Madjam Shabbat. I Madjam Barak. Yahweh Yajam Matar. Saw, which means turning face to sickness. Man of Israel, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. I Madjam Shabbat. I Madjam Barak. Yajam Matar. Class dismissed.
Well done. Bad.
Alright, shalom.
Pressure.
I'll see you tomorrow. Scripture breakdown class 7 p.m.
Sure. Give some close to time being.